Have you ever wondered what Jesus endured in the final hours before his crucifixion? What happened on that dark and painful journey that changed the course of human history forever? Stay with this story, because what you are about to hear is a powerful account of sacrifice, love, betrayal, suffering, and redemption. The night was calm over Jerusalem, but unseen forces were already moving. The city was crowded with pilgrims who had come to celebrate the Passover, a feast that reminded the people of God's deliverance of Israel from slavery in Egypt. Yet this Passover would be unlike any other. Before the sun would rise again, events would unfold that would lead Jesus of Nazareth to the cross. Jesus had spent the evening with his 12 disciples in an upper room. There, he shared a final meal with them. The atmosphere was solemn, though many of the disciples did not fully understand what was about to happen. Jesus spoke words that puzzled them. He told them that one among them would betray him. Shock spread through the room. One after another, the disciples asked, "Lord, is it I?" Among them sat Judas Iscariot. For years, Judas had followed Jesus, witnessed miracles, and listened to his teachings. Yet greed had slowly hardened his heart. Unknown to the others, he had already agreed to hand Jesus over to the religious leaders in exchange for 30 pieces of silver. As the meal continued, Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it to his disciples. Then he took a cup and shared it with them. He spoke of his body that would be broken and his blood that would be shed. Though the disciples did not yet understand, Jesus was preparing them for what lay ahead. After the meal, they left the city and crossed the Kidron Valley toward the Garden of Gethsemane. The moonlight illuminated the olive trees as Jesus entered the quiet garden. The weight of what awaited him pressed heavily upon his soul. Taking Peter, James, and John farther into the garden, he told them that his soul was overwhelmed with sorrow, even unto death. Jesus moved a short distance away and fell to the ground in prayer. He knew the suffering that awaited him. He knew he would soon bear the sins of humanity. The burden was so immense that he prayed earnestly, asking if there was any other way. Yet despite the agony, his prayer ended with complete surrender to God's will. The disciples, exhausted from the day, struggled to stay awake. 3 times Jesus returned to find them sleeping. 3 times he urged them to watch and pray. While Jesus wrestled in prayer, they could not comprehend the significance of the moment. Then, in the darkness, the sound of approaching footsteps broke the silence. Torches flickered among the trees. Judas arrived, leading a crowd armed with swords and clubs. The betrayal had begun. Judas approached Jesus and greeted him with a kiss, the agreed signal to identify him. What should have been a sign of friendship became a symbol of betrayal. Jesus looked at Judas with sadness and asked if he was betraying the Son of Man with a kiss. The soldiers moved forward to arrest him. One of the disciples drew a sword and struck a servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. But Jesus immediately intervened. He healed the wounded man and told his followers not to resist. This was not the way of God's kingdom. As the soldiers seized Jesus, fear swept through the disciples. One by one, they fled into the night. The man they had followed for years now stood alone. Jesus was taken first to Annas, a former high priest, and then to Caiaphas, the current high priest. Throughout the night, religious leaders gathered to accuse him. False witnesses came forward, but their testimonies contradicted one another. Despite the accusations, Jesus remained silent. Finally, the high priest demanded that he answer whether he was the Messiah, the Son of God. Jesus confirmed the truth. To his accusers, this was enough. They declared him guilty of blasphemy. The atmosphere turned violent. Men surrounded Jesus, mocking him. They spat on him. They struck him with their fists.